What is up once again, ladies and gentlemen of the YouTubers? I am here. This tank, yes, is a little cloudy and dirty, but it has gotten clearer. We can do some videos and talk more about the animals I have in here. One of the reasons why this tank is clearing up so good is I owe mad amounts of thanks to the YoYo loach, also known as the Bochia loach. These guys are fun little dudes found pretty much in the Ganges Basin in northern India. And the names YoYo actually comes from the fact that when they're young, more specifically the black patterns along the silver scaling, kind of spells out the word yo across the body. And YoYo being that they are silly little guys, most loach species are going to be silly little guys. And another reason why I kind of keep this like this, because this is what their natural waters look like along with the other animals that live in here. These guys do have some slow, murky waters, living in more of a basin than the actual part of the river of the Ganges. And I believe the scientific name is Hedomorphe or something, Bochia Hedomorphe or something like that. But Bochia, the first part of the Bochia there is going to be what the word Bochia comes from as well. But Bochia almorphae will be your full scientific term. Yes, I had to take a moment to just double check I was saying it right, which I wasn't at first. It's almorphae. The other thing comes from different scientific terms of stuff, because I was mixing up another thing. But yeah, these little guys are amazing. They do like to be in groups, smaller groups. I do have my yo-yos together, two yo-yos with two coolie loaches. They are not really super aggressive fish. They mostly tap out at about 4 inches long. But, so this guy right here is a full grown. Telling the difference between male and female can be a little difficult, because females, like most fish species, will be a little larger, and they will have, less coloring or something, because males will sometimes have sort of like, I think, a reddish-orangish coloring around certain parts of their body, especially during times of breeding season and stuff, which is very common with most fish species. So these guys are amazing for taking care of snails and problems like that. I will not pair these guys up with your really shrimp or cherry shrimp. Keep the Neocarandina species or any kind of bamboo shrimp out of their way. Shrimp that you can kind of put with them is stuff like ghost shrimp or amano shrimp. They do not have high coloring. They're a bit larger and can get away from them if they're actually going to try and get eaten, because yo-yos are vigorous eaters for things like invertebrates and stuff, and they love eating snails and stuff. And another cool fact about them, they have teeth, but not in their mouth. It's along the throat, so that it helps them kind of cut the food up when they swallow it to digest it better once they go to eat that. So with that small, narrow snout at the front, that is used actually to get into the wedgings of food, such as snail shells and stuff, when they close up their shell to try and hide. The loaches, the yo-yo loaches, and as well as clown loaches have that narrow snout to kind of dig their way into the snail's kind of hiding spot, and that's when they start to eat and stuff. I won't get too graphic with the details, but they do like snails, and they have the options and the hardware to do so. Now, being that they are not very aggressive, but only semi-aggressive, you can pair them up with stuff like other loaches, plecos, and things like that. But I would say, I've seen people say corridors are okay. I would say be careful with that, because both corridors and yo-yos are somewhat of a schooling sort of fish. And unless you have a really big tank, it's going to be hard to kind of get the two schools to get along. There's a very good chance that the bochias might bully some of your little, not coolie loaches, but your corridors is what I was trying to say. So they're here with some coolie loaches. I have some regular coolies with the black and yellow striping. So they're nothing fancy special. But you can even see, like, with the ghost shrimp right there, there's a female with some eggs. I have seen babies still. These guys are older. The older the coolie loach gets, the less active they get, and the less that they're going to try and vigorously eat everything, which is why there's still some snails and stuff. This is more shells and whatnot, but they've caught in a lot of the big guys and stuff and taken care of a lot of those problems for me. And because they've been doing so well with that stuff, the tank's been clearing. I have the bubblers off right now to let the sediment kind of settle. I put some more of that pristine in there to kind of help clear this out, as you can see. And the baby guppies are good. So the guppies, upper level fish that are peaceful and not aggressive, are really good for yo-yo loaches as well, because they're not really up here too much. Unless they themselves are swimming around and being playful. I've seen them a couple of times swim up towards the top and kind of play around. And another fun fact about the YoYo loach, or the boatio loach, is that they make clicking sounds that can actually be heard from outside of the tank. So if you hear some clicky noises and stuff, don't worry too much about it. It's just these dudes right here at play and having a good old time. Other than that, yo-yos have a personality, so just like with any loach, they're going to be silly. They like to shove themselves into small spaces, so they don't like big caves or caverns. So this is why I have mopani wood pushed up in places. There's bits of moss and stuff that they can dig into. They are mostly a nocturnal species, but I find that these guys have been up and about at all parts of the day, so they can have a bit of a crepuscular sort of mentality as well. But you are going to see a lot of their activity more so towards evening or night or something, which is why this one's swimming around all funny and the other one's probably just resting. Just like with the coolie loaches and stuff, but it's good that they're more active at night because that's when the snails are more active as well. So they're hopefully, and as you can see, eating all that stuff. And the other stuff around here, my ghost shrimp, everything doing good. The tank itself is over 30 gallons, so it does have enough stocking for all these things and stuff. And other than that, so many live plants and stuff. I do not use a filter, I use bubblers. And there is a heater in the tank. You cannot see it at the back of the thing. But if I come across to the side right here, you can kind of see it right there. But again, this cloudiness and stuff may not be everyone's favorite look, but this is not unhealthy to the fish. In fact, this is very much what it would look like if you take a chunk of some still river out, or some basin or something out from the actual environment. And with that, that gives them comfort in the cloudy water and protection, keeps everything looking good as far as like their health and stuff. If you want to have a tank that you can look through and be nice and crystal clear, you might want to consider more of a cichlid species for that, because guys like this, live bearers, loaches, and shrimp and vertebrates of that nature, even betta fish like my buddy Summers over here. Oh, he was over there. He was resting. I guess I got him to move and stuff because I'm messing around with things, but yeah, so all the fish I have in here are for these waters. So I've had a lot of people say stuff. I've had people say my water's unhealthy or looks bad. But I'm just going to say, you've been watching these fish for quite a few minutes if you've been here this whole time. And you can see, the fish don't think it's that bad. And actually they're having a great time swimming around and doing stuff, you know? Those two are probably more arguing with each other. But those are two male guppies. It seems like those two don't like each other very much. I don't know what to do about that too much. They don't do that for long, though, but I have been keeping my eye on that. It's really just those two, and they look a lot alike, so I don't know if they're... I got them all from the same area, so I don't know if there's just sibling rivalry or if they're trying to fight over a female or something. I don't know. I'm keeping my eyes on it, though, and if I do see, like, the really fierce fighting, they're gonna have to switch out or move around or something. But everything's looking good. Got stuff happening. I mean, I'm just having fun with this, and I hope this little fact about yo-yo loaches and stuff and whatnot are good. Thank you again for 300-something subscribers. That's really cool. And I have like over 50 returning people, so y'all coming back to learn a bit more. So with that, if there is anyone who has anything question-wise specific about any animals or caretaking, as far as vivariums or natural sort of waters and tanks of that nature can go, let me know, and I'll be happy to give you my opinion, mixing in some facts that we know from zoology and biology in there as well. But, you know, a lot of caretaking does involve opinion and experience, and I'm more than happy to share mine. Now again, with all these videos, my way is not the only way. I'm not claiming for it to be the best way. This is the way I find healthiest for the species of creatures I'm keeping in this tank. And because of these yo-yo loaches, I'm able to get this clear enough to show you guys what it looks like. Because those snails were digging so much of my substrate up, and it was causing such a muck mess in this. But now with it seeing through, it's great. And the plants are doing well. They're thriving and surviving, striving, doing great. All right, well with that, people, y'all have a good one. Peace out.